News. A service of Barong Insurance Agency, the Western Oklahoma law enforcement agency, receives accreditation. That's the big story for 7:30. I'm John Matthews. Weatherford Police Department has earned accreditation from the Oklahoma Law Enforcement Accreditation Program, which is through the Oklahoma Association of Chiefs of Police. Kevin McCullough, who serves as the Accreditation Commission, recognized the department during the Weatherford City Commission meeting Tuesday.
The accreditation program provides Oklahoma law enforcement agencies with an avenue to demonstrate that they meet commonly accepted standards and best practices for efficient and effective operations. Law enforcement executives who seek accreditation under our program have had their written policies, their procedures, and their operation evaluated to ensure that they meet all statutory requirements and also national best practices for policing.
McCullough says Weatherford is only one of 10 departments who have gone through the accreditation process for the smaller agencies. The Oklahoma Department of Transportation says I-40 will narrow between Sayre and Elk City for striping purposes. East and westbound lanes will have various periodic lane closures from 8 a.m. to 7 p.m. daily through Thursday. Drivers are encouraged to expect delays and be aware of workers and equipment in the roadway. The Oklahoma City branch of the Federal Reserve Bank of Kansas City conducted an economic forum in Weatherford on Tuesday. Branch Executive Courtney Crowley was the keynote speaker. Among other things, Crowley discussed the agriculture economy in the state.
The farm economy in Oklahoma, even with all the challenges that we've seen on the crop side, with whether it be drought in the wheat crop, and we have the worst winter wheat crop condition that we've had in several years in the state, but cattle prices have just really been so strong that they have seemingly supported the overall farm economy in Oklahoma. I think the fact that we're able to grow dual-purpose winter wheat here to graze those cattle and can take advantage of some of those high cattle prices, it's really supported our farm economy.
Crowley says farm incomes from the state have stayed relatively stable compared to the remainder of the bank's district. She says 50% of the farm revenue in Oklahoma come from cattle production. We'll have more news coming up next.
Here's Jeff Barong.
As an independent insurance agent, we are not limited to just one or a few companies. We have got access to most every insurance market out there right here, from our offices in Weatherford and Edmond. We can work with whoever is going to, be able to bring the best coverage and premium situation at any given time to the consumer.
For all types of insurance, it's Barong Insurance, the agency service-built Barong Insurance.
The Weatherford Regional Hospital Board of Trustees voted to accept the nomination of Dr. Tyson Allard to the board. Dr. Allard shared more about himself during the hospital board meeting Monday.
Dr. Tyson Allard have an optometry practice here in Weatherford and Clinton. From Altus originally, and he's got an amazing wife and two amazing kiddos. Kind of private practice side, but also I'm in the military as well. So I come from the Tulsa Air National Guard. A lot of things actually presented in this. I'm very familiar with it because we have to run a facility as well in the military. I'm Lieutenant Colonel up that way in Tulsa, and just, again, happy to be a part of this and happy to help the goals of the hospital move forward.
Dr. Allard succeeds former board member Andy Carruth, who officially stepped down last month. Custer County District 2 Commissioner Bruce Walker spoke about potential impacts of recent high winds during Monday's county commission meeting.
We may have trees down. We need people to be our eyes and ears for sure. Could even have a stop sign or something blown down. They quiver in the wind to the point that they break.
Walker encourages anyone who seeks damages from the wind to report it to the county. Following the recent legislative mandate for certified Oklahoma teachers to receive a pay increase, Weatherford Public Schools Superintendent Mark Harmon discussed increasing salaries for employees.
We pay about $1,200 above the state minimum we always have. To meet that mandate of the teacher-approved pay raise, $2,000 pay raise, all we had to do was raise it $800, but we went ahead and did the entire $2,000 for certified teachers. The state is planning on funding that, so that was just for your certified teachers. That did not include assistant superintendents, principals, or directors, but we're going to go ahead and include them in the raise as well. It's a good thing. Those people deserve it.
Harmon says he also plans to present a separate pay raise for support staff to the Board of Education. Here's state news from the Radio Oklahoma Network.
News from the Radio Oklahoma News Network. I'm Ann Roberts. Oklahoma officials say the Supreme Court's decision to uphold states' rights was the right call. State Capitol correspondent Trey Davis explains.
The ability for a state to determine whether boys can compete in girls' sports is good news to Oklahoma House Speaker Kyle Hilbert.
It's always great to see that the laws that we pass in Oklahoma being affirmed by the United States Supreme Court. We passed this bill 4 years ago, and it's been the law of the land since then in Oklahoma.
The state is one of 27 to decide an athlete must compete based on their assigned gender at birth and not their perceived gender.
Recent heavy rains in northeast Oklahoma means lots of water in the Arkansas River Basin. The Army Corps of Engineers say they are now releasing more than 60,000 cubic feet per second of water from Keystone Dam. More on these stories at RadioOklahomaNews.com. From the Radio Oklahoma News Network, I'm Ann Roberts.
News at 7:30, a service of Barong Insurance Agency. Coming up next, we'll look at local funeral notices after a word from Lee Hometown Funeral Home.
Most people don't even know where to begin when planning a funeral. Who wants to think about that anyway? So we put it off and often leave the burden on someone else. Or if the unexpected happens to a loved one, funeral arrangements are the last thing we want to think about. At Lee Hometown Funeral Home in Clinton, they will help you make funeral arrangements with compassion and understanding. Brandon Lee, the owner of Lee Hometown Funeral Home, understands the difference that locally owned and operated makes. Please visit Lee Hometown Funeral Home today at 1217 West Gary in Clinton.
Graveside services for 80-year-old Reuben Dwayne Vincent will be held today at 1:30 at the Pogue Cemetery in Eakly. He worked as a rancher. Services under the direction of Ray and Martha's Funeral Home in Mountain View. Funeral services for 79-year-old Catherine Nash Donnery will be held on Thursday at 10 o'clock at the Sacred Heart Catholic Church in Hinton. Services under the direction of Turner Funeral Home in Hinton. Today's funeral notice is a service of Brandon Lee at Lee Hometown Funeral Home in Clinton.